Welcome to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. If you like this watch and would like to buy it at the lowest price anywhere online, click on the link in the description below to buy it at JazzTime.com. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the Hublot Square Bang Unico Sapphire 42mm reference 821.JX.0120.RT. I'm going to talk to you about the case, the movement, the strap, the dial, which is kind of the movement, and try it on, give you my thoughts. So let's start. Let's start with the first obvious thing, which is the case. Now the case is 42 millimeters. That's measured from the longest distance, not the diagonal across, but the left to right here, going from the 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. That's 42 millimeters. It's square, so it's 42 millimeters in both directions, both going from 6 to 9 or 6 to 12 and also 3 to 9. That's 42 millimeters. Now, the watch is, as you see here, it's transparent, and this case is made of sapphire. And let me remind you, for those who don't know, that on the Mohs scale of hardness, with a diamond being a 10, the hardest material on Earth, the only thing that is the closest hardness to that is a 9, and that's a sapphire, which is what you see in front of you right now. Now, why would you want to make a watch out of sapphire? Well, one is it's super hard, really hard. Actually, 9 out of 10 hard. The only thing that you can make it harder with would be an actual diamond. So for all intents and purposes, it's the hardest thing that you can make a watch case out of, which is a sapphire. Now, why wouldn't you want to make the case out of sapphire? Well, you can imagine how hard it is to carve out this case, considering it's the second hardest material on the planet. You'd actually have to use like a diamond cutter to cut out the sapphire, and imagine how much you end up wasting, how many get rejected to get to this final shape, which is why there's not a lot of companies that do their watch cases in sapphire. The only two that I can think of are Hublot and Richard Mille. And when Richard Mille does it in sapphire, the watch is like $3 or $4 million. And this watch is only retailing at $95,000 on Hublot's website as of 23, but on JazzTime.com you can buy it in the 70s. At the moment, we're selling it at the low 70s, so it's even discounted from retail. Okay, it's a very unique watch. Now, why else would you want to make the case out of sapphire? Well, it allows you to see into the movement and the inner workings of the watch. You get to peer into the watch as if you were like living inside this movement, or as if the case wasn't even there. In almost every watch, the case hinders the full view of the watch, but not in this case. Okay, so that is a benefit to having sapphire, and also it looks luxurious, and it's a quite unique. As I said, there's not a lot of watchmakers that do it, just Richard Mille and Hublot, at least that I can think of. Okay, so you get to have this watch that is completely unique, completely see-through, and they only make, at least as of 23, 250 examples of this watch, by the way. So it is a very unique watch. Okay, now that's the case. Now this is the square. I forgot to say that this came from Hublot's Square Bang category. Now Hublot makes of course, many kinds of watches. They have the most common, or their most popular, is their Big Bang. Okay, and then they also have the Classic Fusion, which is their sort of dress line, and then they have some novelty ones, and then they have their shaped. Now their shaped just means that it does not have a traditional circular shape to it. And they make two kinds of shaped ones. They make the tonneau shape, which really does look like a Richard Mille, at like 1/10 the price. Okay. And then they make this square bang, which looks kind of like a tonneau shaped Richard Mille, except it's square, meaning all four sides are the same length. So also not a bad, anyways. Okay, so it's called the square bang. Okay, now I think next thing we should do is talk about the movement here. Okay, now the movement, of course, this watch being sapphire, you can see all the way through it and admire the movement. Now the movement, as you see, I like the way that they've done the finish. They sort of got away from the old school, Geneva swirls and traditional watchmaking, and they made it very modern, but it's still a very beautiful watch, or a very beautiful movement. Okay, the movement has 354 parts, and that's, I have to say, it's about average for the chronograph that this is. Now it is a chronograph flyback with a column wheel. It doesn't say what kind of column wheel, whether it's a vertical or a horizontal on their website, but okay, I guess it doesn't really matter. The movement number is a HUB1280 Unico. Okay, it has a 72-hour power reserve, which is on the high end. Most watches at the moment are doing a 72-hour power reserve, such as Rolex, Audemars Piguet, but not actually Patek. I don't know why Patek has not upped their power reserve. Probably because they don't know how. I would think because if they knew how, they would. Why wouldn't they? But they're a very traditional watch company, so maybe they're not using the latest technology. I'm not sure, but they don't make watches with a 72-hour power reserve. It's much less. Okay, that's the movement. Now let's go ahead and see the strap. Now the strap does use a very innovative one click. You can release the strap, which means you can change it for many different kind of straps, and they even have a custom strap configurator that you can go to on Hublot's website and choose different straps for your different watch, which really allows you to make the watch customized to you or your mood or your clothing. And this watch being sapphire, it can take many different kind of bands. You can match something clear with any color really. So that's another benefit. If you want to match your clothing to, or the watch to, whatever clothing you have, well, a sapphire would be a match for that. It's kind of like having a white watch, even more versatile. It's clear. Okay, and that uses a one-click system to remove that, and you can buy those straps on the Hublot website. Okay, now the clasp is just a standard titanium deployant buckle clasp. There's not really much to say about that one. And okay, so what have I talked about? Oh, the dial. Well, I would say something about the dial, except that it's skeletonized. And you see the date wheel going around here, which is 1 through 31, and then you see the movement and base plate behind it, behind the hands, and it's very Richard Mille looking. Okay, all right, now let me try this on then. I'm 6 foot tall, 200 pounds, and let me try this watch on for you. I think the watch really is very unique. That's my thought. I'm not a huge fan of Hublot. I still think the top brands are AP, Patek, and Richard Mille. However, I have to give Hublot its place. Those other brands I just mentioned are really expensive. Richard Milles are talking $200,000 to start, and that's just for their base models. Now Hublot is coming in and they're making a Spirit of Bang, which is very similar to the Richard Mille, at least in terms of shape, and a lot of people actually even mistake it for that. And it's a tenth of the price, less than $20,000. You can buy it for, at least on jazztime.com, and you can even buy it at a discount at jazztime.com. It looks just like a Richard Mille, and it's skeletonized like one. The band is, and the shape, it's very similar, except the price, which of course makes it very, very good. And it's not like it's a bad watch. It's still a Swiss watch. It's done very well. It has, it still looks very good. So And you have to always look at something in terms of price. You can't compare a $20,000 watch with a $200,000 watch and say, well, which one's better? Well, that would be like saying, is this $200,000 Ferrari better or worse than this, $200 Kia Stinger or $20,000 Kia Stinger? Well, of course the Ferrari is better. So it's the same thing. You have to look at it with price point. For the price point, though, I have to say Hublot has really done it, especially for this Sapphire watch, which they are really the leaders in. Hublot or Richard Mille does do it, but they do it very seldomly, and they don't do it at a mass production level like this that Hublot does. So I have to say, when it comes to this particular material, Hublot has really got the market cornered. Maybe it's because of their expertise. They've decided that they're going to spend a lot of time, effort, money to really make this one happen, and they did, as you see right here, right in front of you right now. Okay. Now the square bang is all, it's part of the shaped line, and I have to say, of the shaped line, I would probably go with the square bang as opposed to the Spirit bang, because the Spirit bang looks a little too much like a Richard Mille, whereas the square bang, it has a life of its own. There is no real other watch other than maybe Bell & Ross that has this square look to it, but I have to say the Hublot easily beats Bell & Ross on almost every level, and their square bang is quite a interesting and cool watch to look at. I think it's going to do very well moving forward. And as I said, the Sapphire is something that's just out of this world, avant-garde, that's just very, very cool. So for that reason, I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up. And if you want to buy it, click on the link in the description below to buy it at the lowest price anywhere online at jazztime.com.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to Model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.